We didn't realize it. We didn't know what was happening at
We
first.
didn't. I typed, "I like your smile."
And I think I replied, "I like your cute smile too."
Right? I mean, that was kind of a nice thing for you to say.
Well, I think I like your smile still.
Oh my gosh. Well, thanks. I'm Jen.
And I'm Phil, and we are.
Second chapter love.
Yeah,
We really thought that, we were getting started and it wasn't what we felt, it was what we didn't feel.
yeah. The number one thing is there wasn't anxiety
Mhm.
that kind of comes with meeting somebody new, and
Yeah.
I mean, from square one, I felt like I could be myself. I think a lot of that was because you had done a background check on me. No.
Listen, again, maybe I've mentioned this before, I should have been in the FBI, but that's okay. I think the clear thing though, there was no confusion,
No,
no uncertainty. There
yeah,
really just wasn't.
it just felt simple. That's all.
Yeah.
And maybe that could be a little bit confusing
Mm,
because somebody may think that that's missing something, but it's not. It is missing something. It's missing all the bad things.
it is,
Don't
and
be afraid to recognize the good things.
mm,
Sometimes normal and comfortable is important.
it is, and sometimes, that kind of trial before and figuring things out and figuring out who you are is important,
Heck
and
yeah.
that's okay,
Yeah.
but sometimes this hits, and it hits and you know it, and you know
Yeah.
it quickly, and I think we stopped wondering how the other person felt. We
Yeah,
stopped,
that's fair. Yeah,
right?
there was a sense of security between us where like for me, having in my background coming where I was coming from, I was a one and done guy.
Right.
I wasn't hurt by somebody's ill action. I was hurt by what the world does, by a disease, a terrible
Mhm.
disease. And for me, the that insecurity of who, I don't know. I didn't have that. I because I knew Jen knew who I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I had dated before after the divorce, and I, one time was unsure how the other person felt, and that felt confusing and it did cause some anxiety. So I think this new feeling of feeling comfortable and truly understanding how I felt and how Phil felt, or at least that comfort level that I felt, that was the indicator for me. That was the true indicator that
Yeah.
something was different, and that, hey Jen, don't miss this. Catch it and recognize, what that is,
Yeah, it
right?
was a lot of work for you. I know.
No, it really
So,
wasn't.
listen, the smallest moments sometimes mean the most. So,
Mhm.
I can remember like the first time Jen acknowledged that there was something about me in my past that was hard, and boy, you want to talk about comfort like we spoke before. She got right in with okay, this is a part of you, and I want to know more about you. I want to be more open to you, so you
Yeah.
can be more open to me, and that worked great. I think.
I do, yeah, and I think it's okay to recognize, and be present and speak up, right? Communication is so important. And then sometimes the no communication,
Yeah.
kind of that sitting in
Are you telling
silence.
me to shut up?
I'm not right this minute,
How
but
about how about how about the morning coffees?
oh my gosh.
When we first dated,
Yeah.
you know, Jen, I remember at one time was on the other side of the state, and we just started talking over the phone, and it was great. And I can remember saying, "How about having coffee with me tomorrow morning?"
Yeah.
And you sat out on the porch,
We did,
and
and we
I sat
zoomed
out
and
on the
had
porch.
coffee and be willing to take some chances, right? I think some of those chances are really great, and we were not trying to impress one another.
There's no way I was ever going to be
But
able
we
to impress
oh
her.
heavens, we were just being ourselves,
Yeah,
and maybe we were ready. We were ready to each be ourselves in a relationship that wasn't a relationship we had before, and it was something new, and that trying not to impress one another was really comforting.
yeah. Build your skills. There's an old saying that you can't be good for somebody else if you're no good for
Mm,
yourself. Be
yeah.
confident in who you are. You've got a long story in your life. We did, and you look at the two of us, and we should not have been able to connect the way that we have, but we have. And if we two lugs could do it, so could you. We were, we don't ever try to impress each other. We're
No.
just ourselves.
We are just ourselves, and I think that, again, you kind of bring down everything that you might have felt in the past and try and release some of that stuff. It won't happen overnight. It won't. But, being part of this story and us sharing this with you, we're trying to work through some skills that we realized ourselves that maybe we can pass along, which were really important,
Yeah,
right?
that's the thing about a real successful relationship, which I believe down in my heart that we have, is that when you are good for yourself and you are good for somebody
Hmm.
else, and when you feel calm and comfortable about that, you just want to share it with everybody. And Jen's a very private person. I'm maybe a little less so, but I don't know about you, hon, but for me, I want what we have to be with everybody. I
Oh my
think the
goodness.
world would be such a much happier
We
place.
truly believe that, we felt calmer and not more excited. Right? And that surprises people. I think it surprised us, but maybe it surprises you that somehow through all of this, you can feel calmer with yourself and kind of where you're headed. And I think in a way too, it opened up us doing this together,
Yeah.
and starting second chapter love. And that
Would
was something important.
would you say that you had dated more than I had after the divorce, and I went on a couple of dates, but do you feel that you trusted me and I trusted you sooner than you would see in happening in other relationships?
Honestly, I think I can't. I think I definitely trusted our relationship sooner. I found myself second guessing much less, if at all, really,
Where do you
very
think
at the
that came from?
beginning. It's a great question. I think, I don't know, hon. I think learning more about myself and who I was and being open at that point to really let go and just say, Jen, this is a great guy, and everything about him is kind of ticking all of the boxes, and trying not to have too many boxes to tick, because I don't think that that can sometimes work. And I just trusted it. I trusted me sooner,
Mm.
and maybe that's what it is. And in doing that, I trusted you. You always told it like it was. I think that's part of who you are, and
There's a
that
lot
was
of
important.
sacrifices involved, isn't
Yeah.
there? That list that she was talking about, she had to give up on the 6 foot tall guy.
Oh my god, I did not. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
6 feet tall. Who's the guy?
I don't know. I
Uh,
mean, I just think we didn't feel like we could lose each other, in what we were building.
yeah,
It was
like
so strong.
if you're at a point where you could say something and not worry that it's going to end the relationship. And listen, early on, we had a couple. Uh, Nobody's perfect. We had flare-ups. I'd get
Yeah.
mad at
Oh
her,
my
and she would
gosh.
get mad at me, and furiously mad at me. But that's where these coping skills, don't give up. It's like, don't,
Mhm.
if somebody like lashes out at you for something, even if you think it's irrational, don't give up, because guys like me are going to do that. We're going to jump in and
Yeah.
say the things that are wrong. And it doesn't mean that, guys are, I guess, a lot women different than women, but uh, we may do things that are on the
Mhm.
surface one thing, but behind it is something else. You've
Right.
always been really good about that. And back to that sacrificing thing, there's a lot of sacrifices that you make, and one of them is that calm. You got to get back to that calmness.
Yeah.
You know?
And just that's like a security versus fear piece. And
Mm.
for the relationship, it felt like peace and not luck. And I think that was really important, that, it wasn't just lucky in love and lucky that we found one
There's no
another.
such thing.
There's just not. It
Yeah.
just that peacefulness was so great, and I was so grateful for it, and I think that was wonderful.
Yeah.
And
I always felt that you were
right?
a gift from
Aw,
God
well, and
for
that's
me.
when we
So
knew.
an answer to my prayer.
I think that's when we knew. So tell us where you are in your journey. Are you healing, hoping, or are you already loving again?
If you have any questions, hit the like button, subscribe, because we're going to be about gear. Make sure you set the bell so that it notifies you when we put something new in. You can join us for a little chat. And, just right, we would like to know what you have to say. So feel free to comment. Tell us we're all wet. Tell us what you
Ah,
think.
we
Tell us
talk.
what you want to
Yeah,
hear.
exactly. We talk about second chapter love every week here, because your story didn't end. It just turned a page.
And here we are.
See you next week.
Bye.